These are the 7 e-file bits that I cannot live without, and you shouldn't either. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. We are going to talk about today my absolute favorite nail bits, the nail drill bits that I cannot live without, and I must have in every single one of my manis all the time. I make sure I have extras of all of these. And coming in at number 1 is what I would call my ride or die. My ride or die bit. Like, when I couldn't find this bit, I almost cried. This is the Pana Coarse safety bit, and it's in silver and the large barrel because your girl has big hands. And I use this bit every time I want to remove my nails, whether it's dip powder, gel polish, or builder gel. This is my ride or die must have all the time. I'm giving this to you first because if you only pick one bit that you're going to get from this entire video, this is the one. If you like to e-file off your nails and you don't like to soak in acetone, this is what you need. This Pana bit, I've tried it and I've done a few other videos. I've tried it against the 3X course, the extra course, and I think I actually have one in a 2X course. I have tried all of them from Pana, and I usually get theirs because I can get them on Amazon and they last me a couple months till I get a new one. Basically, when it starts to dull and it's not removing the dip or the gel or the builder gel as fast, that's how I know it's time to get a new bit. And since they're only I want to say they're anywhere from $6 to $10, depending on if they're on sale or not, this is a must have for me. Look how fast it's removing my gel polish. When you're removing gel polish, builder gel, or dip, especially if you're removing gel polish, that is how fast your product should come off. And I'm going to use that bit again on poly gel here. I just use it on gel polish and some builder gel, and now I'm using it on poly gel, and it literally works the best out of everything I've tried on all 3. Now, if you're going to be, and I'm going to show another bit later on, that's one of my must-haves. If you just want to remove just the very top of your gel polish and not remove any of the builder gel or your full cover tips that are underneath your gel polish, then this other bit is going to be better for you. But this one I use anytime I leave my nails on for a while. I don't use peel base on top of the gel, on top of the builder gel, or on top of the full covers. And this just beautifully gets all of the powder off, all of the poly gel, whatever it is. That stuff comes flying off. And I use it on anywhere from a 20 to 25,000 RPMs. And that really gives you the best removal, the quickest, and it's also way better, way safer and faster. When I was using it at a slower speed, it was taking me a lot longer, and I was cutting myself, even with the safety bit, way more. The next bit that is an absolute must for me is a sanding bit. The one I first showed in the video was a fine sanding bit. It was a 240 grit, and the one that I'm showing in this next part here, that is a medium grit sanding bit. I've realized that now I think I like the fine better. They're Pana, there's the zebra ones and the 240. They work so well, and they really don't scratch up your natural nails. They're the only ones I use on my natural nails are the sanding bits. This number 3 is the little ball bit, and the little ball bit I use around my cuticles. That is another must for me. I like to use that to remove all the excess cuticle that's on my nails, and I just use it around my skin, around my cuticles, and that's the only one that I like to put on my skin. It's really gentle. It doesn't scratch up my skin since it's just this little carbide ball bit. The next one, I'm number 4. I think we're on 4. Number 4 is that gold 5-in-1 bit that I just used, and I have it in gold and black. The gold is what was in fine, and then my black one that I have is an extra fine. I use both of those for gel and builder gel. If you just want to remove your builder gel, or if you just want to remove your gel polish off your nails, whether you have builder gel under it or full cover tips, that is great because it won't cut down as deeply as the coarse bit will. The little 5-in-1 drill, that is perfect for using it. And I will link everything in my description box to make sure that you guys can go on Amazon. They're all ones that I get on Amazon. I don't have time to wait for other places to send bits, and honestly, they work really well for being a reasonable price. Now, I'm jumping back into a sanding band. I like to use the medium grit sanding bands when I'm doing full cover tips, especially on somebody else. So if you're doing full cover tips, if you don't have ones that are pre-etched, I use pre-etched ones most of the time, but these ones that I apply, this is my friend's daughter's nails I was doing for Halloween. These tips aren't pre-etched, so I had to take a medium grit sanding band. I had to take a sanding band and rough up the top. Whenever you're wearing full cover tips, you really want to make sure that you rough up the top so that whatever product you're using, whether you're using builder gel, gel polish, dip powder, or poly gel, that it has something to grip on and adhere to. If you don't rough up the top of the tips, those tips are pretty darn slick and you're going to get your product just kind of slide off eventually. You won't get the longevity that you're looking for. And the nice thing about roughing up the tips is that you can go around the back and make it sit more flush to your natural nail. One thing that you want to be really careful of when you're using sanding bits is you always want to make sure you season the sanding bands. I think I said bits. You want to make sure that you season your sanding bands. What that means, you take an old nail file. I always keep one that I use for when I have to season my sanding bits. And you literally just turn on your e-file with the sanding bit on and run it against the nail file for a couple seconds, and that makes sure that you're not going to accidentally cut your cuticles or somebody else's cuticles if you're doing a friend's nails. I'm not a professional. I only do friends' nails or, did my friend's daughter's nails for something fun that she wanted for Halloween. But you always want to make sure you season those sanding bands so you don't cut yourself up. The next, number 6 of my must-have tools is this little cuticle bit. It's also from Pana. I absolutely love it. I use it to do a couple things. I use it to seal in my cuticles whenever I wear full covers and really get that good seal against the back against the cuticle. And then I also use it for underneath my nails. If I put on builder gel or poly gel and I make the underneath of my nail too thick, I really get under there, flip my nail over and really drill out any of the excess product that's on the bottom, on the underneath of my nails. Coming in at number 7 is my other ride or die must have. Absolutely, I need this every mani that I use with dip liquids. It's the Pana barrel bit in extra fine. You can see what I'm doing here. I am gently going around my cuticles and removing any excess dip and crisping up my lines. This is literally my secret to perfect cuticle lines. I can't talk today. I am not great still after 3 years at getting that perfectly round, crisp cuticle line. I know, I watch all these other people do their nails. I'm like, oh my gosh, why do my cuticle lines not look like that? But you know what? It's just not one of my strengths. So this little bit is my secret. I go around my cuticles very, very carefully, anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 RPMs. You really don't want to go much above that because this little bit is super sharp. Let me tell you, the first time I used it, I had no idea how sharp it was. And I cut right into my skin, right along my cuticles, sliced my skin right open. Now, if you're not ready for this bit yet and you think this is too much and you just want to learn cuticle prep, well then check out this next video and let me know what questions you have. Thanks so much for joining me today, Nail Crew.